Hello friends, welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. Our goal is what are the different emerging technologies which are coming up like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, robotics, chatbot, and how these technologies can contribute in achieving operational and business excellence along with the Pharma 4. With that objective, we have launched this podcast channel. In today's podcast, I'm going to discuss about PharmaEmerge, that is emerging stronger, leading smarter. That's what is our objective. So, as you are aware, we have this podcast channel with a concept Center of Excellence Pharma 4. We have lot of knowledge sharing at our website. We have also launched a course on Udemy platform, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, which has got about 20 modules covering various technologies as well as the domain challenges. We have a YouTube channel which was launched almost 5 years back, has got more than 360 videos discussing from strategies to audits and validation. I'm sure you will find those videos also very interesting, as well as it will share a knowledge also with you. Podcast channel is there. This is the 95th podcast. I'm quite sure you will find this also is interesting because in podcasts we discuss about the latest technologies, latest challenges, latest business processes, and the how it can help in a global market to achieve customer satisfaction, that is the patient safety. We have a book series, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. Right now there are about 8 books have been published which are available on Amazon Kindle as well as paperback. So please look at those also, share with your contacts, give us a feedback. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to contact us. So let me start with the introduction part of it. I want to discuss about the key pillars for the future readiness. That is, different features are like digital transformations and technology adoption, innovative business models, supply chain resilience, talent and organization, agile operations and financial strength. What are the different requirements for the mid-sized pharma companies and what are the opportunities which are there from technology point of view? Action framework for mid-sized pharma companies, and finally the conclusion. So in introduction, let me give you a brief idea about the adaptive and resilient. There is a good ability to quickly respond to the changes, which is really essential into the pharma industry today. As the things are moving very fast from the market demand point of view, demand forecasting, and that has to get reflected into the complete digital supply chain management system. It starts from sales and operation planning, procurement planning, operations planning, and everything and all that, which has really become very important. And you have to develop and maintain the stability of all this continuity in operation. You know, since we are looking out for a entire digital supply chain management with a seamless data sharing, that only can help you to achieve the stability and continuity into the operation. As you will find that continuity in operation improves the optimization of the resources, that is the manpower and machines and materials and all, and that helps you to improve the productivity and profitability. We have to develop a forward looking things, We have to focus on the long term growth and sustainability. We have to anticipate what will be the future trends and we have to prepare accordingly. As again, I'm coming back to the point which I mentioned in the first point is that it all depends upon the market requirement, demand planning, demand forecasting. And we have to have keep that in mind about the future trends and we have to prepare accordingly. This will be achieved only with a digital transformation. You have to leverage all these technologies which I mentioned in the beginning of my lecture, and that will help you to improve the processes and outcomes. Enhancing the data management will help in the decision making, as you will have a real time data from your entire technology, digital technologies, that will help in a data driven decision making. And the right decision making will reduce the disruption and achieve the excellence. Operational efficiency improvements is very important because that will reduce the cost and increase the productivity. And this will also lead to innovation. Now, digital transformation and technology adoption is important thing. Our entire focus is onto end-to-end digitalization. We have to leverage artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced analytics and all. And that will accelerate your R&D efforts like in the drug development, clinical trials, your pharma product manufacturing and all. Then comes the automation. You have to implement the automation wherever there are the repetitive processes in production and in supply chain. Automation will reduce the time taken for recording the data and then doing that analysis, sharing the data with all the relevant stakeholders and going to the supply chain manager. When we are planning a supply chain, we have to think about the order to delivery. That means we should support to the patient as quickly as possible with the right product, right quality, right price, and all. This is what is becoming more and more important because customers, the patients, their expectations are going up and all, and we should be able to support to them. So enhancing efficiency and reducing the cost is our objective. Connected operations is another thing where we want to enable the seamless integration across all the functions. Like when I mention all functions is the market requirements, sales and operation planning, procurement planning, quality, manufacturing, then comes to the warehouse and then logistic. All this requires an end-to-end integration and all. And this all will go to the cloud-based platform because cloud has got a huge capacity of storing the data and cloud with AI analytics can help you for a data driven decision making. That's what is our objective. Now we have to also think about the innovative business models actually, We have to think about the portfolio diversification. We have to look for the novel modalities like fusion proteins and gene therapies, which are the new areas which are really capturing it up. So we have to identify those. We have to give them a priority. We have to high needs for this therapeutics and all that, and that will reduce the reliance onto the legacy assets where we are now depending and all that. Collaborative ecosystem which we'll have to develop it by adopting the partnerships model with the biotech startups and all that. I'm just sharing along with the pharma relevant to biotechs also because that's also is an important area which many pharma companies are operating it and all that. So collaborate with the technology player, collaborate with the academic institutes and all that, and that will build up a culture, build up benefits of the technology and to the market and all that. So we always talk about the innovations and collaboration. So innovations is coming from the technology and collaborations are coming from the technology and academic partners and all. This is where it can really help. And this is where the innovative business models can be built up. And that will give you a value-based healthcare facilities and develop this culture and that will benefit to the patients and all that. So we have to really think about those things. Along with that, we have to also think about the supply chain resilience. No, as we are discussing about end-to-end supply chain management, digital supply chain now centers are there actually. Now we have to really integrate those with various digital tools for the visibility. Mm, that will enhance the agility, will build up of flexibility, and at the same time, will also monitor the risk management factors for the productions and distributions and all that. We have to also keep it in mind about the localizations and diversifications. We have to think about the diversifying about the suppliers and then the production sites actually. As you know, the supply chain is becoming very complex and this has become more identifiable into this COVID scenarios and COVID uh, systems and all that actually. We are buying the materials or importing the materials from different countries coming from the various geographies. You are compiling it at a particular location. Then your materials are going to get it distributed at different manufacturing location. Products are manufactured at various locations and then they are compiled and then again they are distributed across the countries or maybe going to the exports and all also. So this has become a very important thing. At the same time, we have to keep it in mind about the localization because the local rules, regulations may be different, regulatory requirements may be different, and all that. And this has to keep it in mind about mitigating the geopolitical and logistic risk also. So this is becoming very much important, very much complex and all. And this is where there is a need for moving to the digital transformation and building up a end-to-end supply chain management systems around. Now, because there are different requirements under the localization, the compliances are going to be challenging, and then traceability becomes a very important thing because the patient wants a safety, they want a right product, a right quality, right price, and all that. So we have to use about the blockchain, we have to use about the serialization, which will offer a tamper-proof traceability to the product batch and everything onto that. So this is very important thing. Now, to adopt to this particular system, the talent and organizations are becoming very important. We have to reskill and upskill the talent because they are habituated to work with the old analog based, silos based systems and all that. So we have to invest into workforce capabilities of upgrading them and all that because now the focus is more onto the data, onto the digital tools, integration with the regulatory sciences, and then the advanced manufacturing capabilities which are coming up along with the IoTs and all that. So this is what is the change is going to be required. So we have to develop a strategy for the workforce planning also and how this different talent management systems will work along with the operation strategies and all that. So we have to have a strong human resources department which will drive all these processes and move these skills to the new organization structures or expectations and all. This will also lead to the culture of innovation. We have to encourage the experimentations and collaboration. We have to promote teamwork, which will build up those internal and external teams, partners with, as I mentioned, about the technology partners, academic institutes, and all also. So this needs to be partnered with all. And finally, this has to get connected with your financial strengths also. So we have to plan for the lean and flexible operating models into the manufacturing as well as into distributions and logistics. We have to scale up those activities across the network from strategy point of view, from digitalization point of view, from operating models and talent and all that. This will build up a integrated system which will balance the efficiency with agility and all. Now, this has to access to the capital. You have to also think about the maybe government schemes, government requirements, and then the innovations into the offerings from the schemes and everything also. Develop a smart financing model, especially into the emerging markets, because now emerging markets are playing an important role. They are exporting those products to the developing countries and all. So at the same time, you have to keep in mind the development countries' requirements. At the same time, you have to upgrade with your technology, and that also requires an investment and all. So we have to plan for this. We have to keep it in mind about the data-driven strategic decisions and adopt to like when I mentioned into the beginning about artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have to develop those predictive analytics and dashboards and all, which will help in a better, quicker, accurate, and faster decision making. Uh, Business decisions are very important. Now, since our main focus is for a mid-sized companies, I want to discuss few things related to mid-sized pharma companies, how these opportunities are coming up from the technology adoption. So technology upgrade and this research thing will help on leveraging this technology improvements, no, again moving from the analog system to digitalization and digital tools, technologies are coming up and all will help onto the research thing also, and it will also bridge up the gaps into the complete manufacturing and distribution operations and all. This will lead to the global supply chain integration. This will help you to capitalize onto your production scales and skilled workforce, integrate with the global value chains and all, and focus onto the quality, affordability, and compliance. These are the three key important parameters which will lead to the success for your organization and your company also. And then biomanufacturing revolution is coming up, so we have to also keep that also in mind, which will keep onto the leads into the new therapy era areas and support systems into the self-reliance and all that. So just to sum up with what it should be the action framework for a mid-sized pharma company. This to start with, the main pillar should be the digital transformation, which will scale up artificial intelligence, automations, cloud, and advanced analytics. That will lead to the business model, which will help you to broaden the various therapies for and for strategic alliances, as I mentioned earlier, about either technology partners and industry partners and academic partners. So that is what will help. And that will lead to a better supply chain with have a better digital control towers, which will help on a data-driven decision-making systems, ensure the traceability and diversify the suppliers which are coming up from the different suppliers and all that. The talent will contribute in building up a digital skills and enhancing the workflows planning. And finally, that will get integrated with the operations and finance. So leveraging public and private funding, which will help. So we are really looking as an holistic approach to all those parameters, all those factors, no, to get it integrated mainly from the mid-sized company's point of view. So finally, coming to my conclusion, we have to really embrace the digitalizations, which will help in improving the operational efficiencies and innovation. Our ecosystem will build up of partnerships, again, as I mentioned earlier, you technology partners, academic partners, industry partners, and all that. Supply chain resilience will help to build up a stability into the operations, and talent transformation is required, which will develop the skills, because finally these skills are going to take the shuffler decisions, no, about the operations, about manufacturing and all, and that will have a flexible workforce and all. And this will lead to a quick response to the market changes. As I was discussing earlier also, this entire exercise depends upon your market requirement. So market requirements should be in a real-time basis. So demand planning, demand forecasting, that will drive the entire change into this particular system. So I wanted to just give you a brief idea about how this technology will help onto the digital thing actually. So more details, I'm quite sure you will refer to other digital ecosystem which we have developed it. In case if you have any suggestions, do write to us. Share this with your network also. I'm quite sure it will be very useful for them. Thank you. Bye.